I just want to say from here that for times that I'm not commentating and sometimes under my commentary you might hear audio from the stream, I wanted to leave it like that just so you could get a thought into my mindset, and for the following 2 videos I will also leave it like that. For my successful attempts, after I've explained my strategy, you will hear the archived audio from the stream. This is my journey to beating Cuphead without using the dash button. Whatever is a dash is determined by the in-game dash function in the control menu. We have unbound it just so that no matter how much I slip my fingers, we can, never dash. And we'll get started with this first stage, where the only thing of note is 2 damage boosts. One right here to make it up this ledge, which you must do since you can't dash, and 1 damage boost after killing this boss, just so that you can get to the end of this stage for the clear. I feel like this is a good time to mention that I am playing all these levels again on a completed save file, just so that we have access to the expert difficulty, which we will be doing all the bosses on. I'm allowing any items for use, although some, like the smoke dash, won't be useful at all. This is also a good time to mention our loadout. Usually I'll go with whatever shots I feel will be helpful for this stage, but for most stages we'll be using the coffee with the invincibility super, just so that if we need to, we can avoid any damage. For this section I realized that for the first phase of Goopy, the roundabout shot would be more useful, and if you notice throughout this fight, I always try to jump towards him when we're near the edge of the stage, just to avoid getting stuck in a corner on the edge of the stage. Phase 2 is very similar to Phase 1, with the exception that you have to be more careful on the edges of stages because you're more likely to get hit. However, if he bounces off the stage with good RNG, then you can get through this phase without taking damage. Good RNG, good RNG, good RNG. In his Tombstone phase, I always tried to be walking towards him to make it easier to dodge the tombstone. It's just something that I thought helped, as you could run past the tombstone faster, and it ended up working pretty well. Only took us a couple attempts to beat this boss.
There's so much version, redistributor.
Now, I'm really only talking about this boss because it's the next boss we did, but doing this boss is more of a just doing it because it's a requirement. It is not difficult. It doesn't really change from its main thing other than the final phase, so I'm just going to skip to that. Actually, just an efficiency tip for the onion phase, I tried to stay on the right so that I could always be looking to the right, so that if I ever had to readjust due to the tears, I could just stay looking at the boss. It's just a really good booster shield. The only hard part about this boss is when he shoots the psychic beam things, but I can't really give any tips to dodging those. After a while you just get used to it. You see here I had to use my invisibility to dodge it, and then eventually get the kill on the boss.
Oh really? The big boom?
I think so. Either that or it's a mayhem weapon, and so it can be dropped into takedown. I've never used any of the mayhem 4 weapons.
Alright, I got nothing. Let's check the random weapons that drop.
Now this is another run and gun stage. It's pretty self-explanatory, so we're just gonna skip to the end. Here you see after killing the acorn boss that you need at least 1 hit to do the damage boost, so just be sure that you don't take damage on your way here. Here you see me using roundabout shots for this boss, which is to kill the fireflies as soon as they spawn. It was just easier because if you don't kill them as soon as they spawn, then they're pretty annoying to dodge later, and that was the entire first phase. For the second phase, I used the charge shot just to get through it fast, to avoid having to go through too many phases of the wind. And for the third phase, I just prayed that I dodged all the coins and got in charge shots whenever I could. Overall, this boss isn't too hard if you just do all that. Okay. Snakes again. Thanks again. I was stuck on Cagney for about an hour until I realized that it would probably be best to use roundabout shots so that whenever the plant bitey thingies do spawn, it can kill them immediately. I also tried parrying every seed that I could because the pumpkin gets pretty annoying. But other than that, it's a pretty easy phase 1. Okay. Final phase Cagney isn't that hard as long as you know to avoid the spikes that he sends up. I was saving my super here just in case I needed to avoid the spikes. They were in a position I couldn't dodge, which actually ended up saving me, and you'll see in a couple seconds. And it helped me win the fight. The first thing to mention here is that I am allowing the use of shrink for flight modes. It can be activated with the dodge button, however, it can also be activated with the aim button, so I'm not considering it a dash. The next thing to mention is, for most of this boss, you will see me above the stage using lob bombs. It's crucial that you end Gemini's phase very fast so that she doesn't have a chance to shoot off a second like fireball thing, and then it's helpful, the lob bombs, if you use them on Sagittarius, because it can destroy the stars that come out of their arrows right as they come out.
What the fuck up, Nick?
Now, for this final phase, I used lob bombs as much as I could while she was transforming to get in as much damage as possible, and then I just sort of prayed. This entire phase was just in a blur of what was going on. I was trying to dodge stars, the face, the UFOs. It was all very intense. I used my super here to help me get in some extra damage, and luckily got the kill confirmed.
Oh, you need help? That's dragon.
Thank God! Now, I just want to say, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will be continuing this episode soon with a part 2 on Inkwell Isle 2. Might take a bit. If you want to see what we're doing with this run in the meantime, I've been streaming it over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/CrodLight, and I think you should really check it out. If you enjoyed this video, we'll be doing more of it. We play some multiplayer games and have a fun time.